And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As the intro stuff gets out of the way, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification. That way, when a new video gets published, hey, we'll see what the cards have to say to you. And also, individual reads have been reopened, so if it does interest you, please contact me directly. Links in bio or on main, or you could just message or email me and we can set that up, okay? What we're looking at in this round of reads is going to be your career read for the month of January. And it's been really interesting so far. I mean, we're still in the New Year's time frame. I know the first and last, especially because it was around the time of New Year's, got published about a week or so ago. And now essentially what we're looking at is beyond, the new abstract goals. What about our business, our career, the opportunities, ventures, partnerships, etc., that we can go on to express our talents, but also find purpose in the labor that we do. So as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, even when it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, not here to misguide you, not here to mislead you. That's not why I made the channel or do this at all. We're just going to lay it out all on the table, good, bad, or otherwise. And come rain or sunshine, we're going to see what the cards say, okay? So with that being said, Taurus, let's look at your career read. We're going to start in a time-based transition with past, present, and future. That way it's more easier to organize linearly. So yeah, Taurus, let's see what the cards say. Starting over here. So what's the past orientation for Taurus in this career read? What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Taurus in their career? What are the cards that we need to see, please, for Taurus in the career today? Sorry if I sound kind of groggy right now. It's early where I am, and I'm just waking up. There we go. So, past orientation. Okay, starting off, or at least we're honest. 5 of Cups, pain and sorrow. How is that defined here, though? It's not enough to have that. Temperance, the card Sagittarius, that this too shall come to pass. In what way? 4 of Pentacles. So, an investment didn't exactly turn out how we thought it would. Hey, it doesn't mean that an experience wasn't had, right? When we look at the 5 of Cups here, it tends to have one of the worst raps in terms of, emotional anything within the deck, because it represents just a true essence of pain, right? The thing is, we're supposed to learn from that. And so what I saw in your past area, Taurus, is that, yes, it was especially something we kind of dedicated ourselves to with that 4 of Pentacles. We held on to it. We wanted to make sure we, quote unquote, did it right, whatever that means here. And then had to come to the realization that, yeah, it didn't turn out how we wanted to, but it doesn't mean we didn't gain anything from it, right? There's experience and knowledge had here that I think we're kind of overlooking because we're focusing on so much of, if I got it and I held on to it for so long, then why did it, quote unquote, fail? Whereas I'm looking at it, especially from the direction that I am, because this is your past orientation, saying, hey, not everything is lost. There's still this, even though it is small, there's this inverted, positivistic aspect of, no, there was something to be gained here. It may not have been what you wanted, but that doesn't mean you're walking away with nothing. Okay, let's look in your present. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, of the here and now for Taurus in their career. What are the cards that we need to see, please, right now for Taurus in their career reading? In the present, the World. Okay, as one story comes to its completion, another one happens. 3 of Pentacles, the notion of cooperative work, particularly dedicated High Priestess. Oh, okay. Got it. And so when we're able to move beyond pain, right? And I'm starting this because this is your past orientation over here, right? When we're able to move beyond pain, when we're able to say, hey, right now, at least this is the past you, right? Right now, whatever I was trying to do, it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. And that's okay. Once I'm finally able to say, okay, what can I learn from it? Because it's not a total loss. And I refuse to believe that, even as your reader, Taurus. It's not a total loss over here. What about my present could then unfold from a lesson I'm trying to have? And so the high priestess, trusting your internal voice, trusting the signs that you're seeing, one cycle closes out and the other one begins. The world, the highest even of the major arcana, highest card in the deck, really, a cycle and a journey's end. And with that, another journey's beginning. Here, the Three of Pentacles, it involves more people and more cooperative work, right? So being able to trust, okay, whatever I did originally, yeah, it didn't turn out, the picture perfect as modality that I once thought it would. Cool. I don't like it, but here's where we are. And so in my present, I could harp on that, and I most certainly can, because ooh, it stings. Or I could say, no, I'm walking away with so much experience of what I do and don't want, what I can and can't learn, that I can apply it in a new and more cooperative and more collaborative kind of sense, right? That Three of Pentacles being here in your present. No, my truth or whatever we're going to find in terms of new opportunities and ventures for a career-based standpoint is going to come with the lessons that came from here, but also trusting that I'll find the right people, the right places to make it work for me, right? I'm not without experience. I'm actually full of it. And therefore, that abundance of knowledge gives me a pathway forward. Now, let's go to the future. What about the what if? Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Taurus in their career reading. In the range of the future, reveal the what if for their career. Wow, interesting that it's all sideways. Well, one is sideways, but the other two not so much. Yeah, and that makes sense on your underneath. Let's talk about it. So, Nine of Cups. This is the one that I'm going to deem as being coming out sideways. What does true self-fulfillment mean? And based off of what we do, I think you're trying to sit not only with the immediate impact, but the grandiose lesson here. The reason I'm saying this is because it also came out with the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So cards of pain, especially from the past to the future, but these are two different emotions, and let me explain why. If we're saying that we are fulfilled, right, that we can find our own journey, that this is what matters to us, we can do what's right for and by us, the Six of Pentacles then represents, okay, our everyday investments, what we put in is going to determine what gets had here. It doesn't have to be me stressing out over it. It doesn't have to be me constantly harping over things or wishing that things were different. It has to do with the here and now that I have and what I say I want to pursue. Okay, let's put a little bit more into that day by day, right? I know it comes from expansion. I know it comes from a place of, okay, to get where I want to go, I have to understand where I am. And so that future orientation of the Three of Swords, and that's why I'm reading it as being different from this Five of Cups over here in the past, where it's just like this long, drawn-out pain. That Three of Swords, the sharp realization that if we continue to invest into unfulfillment and misery, it's what we're going to get out of it. Right? That doesn't make it comfortable. That doesn't make it good at all. But it's still a reality. And so to know that heartbreak is in the framework of the future, heartbreak is where we find it and where we intend to make it. Right? I'm looking at a Taurus who, if we're saying that in the present we want to be sitting with a new cycle's opening up, yeah, we could look back over here, because I'm still drawing that Three of Swords back to that Five of Cups of your past. We could look back over here and say, oh, I just wish it was different. Or we can realize all the fulfillment that's had right now. Some even that we are not seeing its full value or potential in. And so that Nine of Wands being in your underneath, hey, The efforts that we put in is what we get out. We could put energy into the new optimistic beginnings that we're embarking on, or we could put all of our energy into the wishing of what was back here. Still holding on, still wishing that, hey, this could have been different, right? It's our decision right now, but I want you to be kind to yourself and say, I wanted that for a reason. I don't have to harp out that it didn't turn perfect. Maybe I can make a better version with what opportunity is laid out for me right now. Okay? Cards of connection. Let's look at the connective energy between all time-based orientation for Taurus in this read. We will first look at the space between past and present orientation. What happens between the what was and the what is? Again, nothing inherently bad. These feelings are sensitive, and I just don't want you to be consumed by them, okay? So it's cards of Venus, please. What happens in between? Emperor, card of Aries. The fact that, hey, I don't like how this turned out in the past, but I still have a decision to make. What do I want to do with the time and the opportunity and the life that I do have to live? The next, Five of Pentacles. The notion that, hey, an opportunity passed us by, that it didn't leave us any better in terms of our standing, but especially because it's a career read, it didn't turn out the way that we wanted to. And I know you had your hopes up that Four of Pentacles, that it would come out in a different way, but it doesn't necessarily mean it didn't happen the way that it should. Seven of Wands, guarded from accepting that truth. Yeah. Very simple. You didn't like how whatever happened in the past turned out, but that isn't the sole determining factor of who you are or what you're capable of. Sorry, it feels like I gotta sneeze. There we go. Next. And now what is had between the present and future orientation for Taurus in the career read, between the what is and the what if. Show us the cards on me to see, please, for Taurus in the career read. Nine of Wands, and that came out in the underneath over here. Understanding that the efforts that we put in, but also the focus that we have over what could be versus what was, that's going to determine a lot of our framework of how we approach optimism, Taurus, right? That Nine of Wands here, is it always pretty? No, but we have it within us to change our perspective, right? We have it within us to find our own happiness. Now, what does that look like now? Temperance, card Sagittarius, understanding that if this came with time and we could get over it with time, then so too can we change our internal perspective of what's going on right now, right? We can do it. We can try. I want you to have it within yourself to say, this too shall pass, just like it did before, and I'm going to have a better tomorrow. I just got to be looking for it, okay? Three of Pentacles, again, more cooperative and collaborative effort. If I can see and learn from others, if I can contribute properly in the ways that I know how, and just worry about the things I'm doing properly, everything will fall into place. Six of Swords, moving forward and moving on. It's not the notion of abandonment here, because that would suggest, the notion of more desperate and painful circumstances. This more has to do with, I can't constantly sit here and harp on that. It is very tempting, and I understand why, because you wanted it to work out and it didn't turn out picture perfect. However, with where you are right now, you're also saying it's not worth it for me to do that, because I understand that while emotionally I do want that, it's also keeping me still and it's not letting me move forward. Six of Swords, that's how we move on. Okay, next. Define the major arcana straight across the table for Taurus in this read. We first look towards Temperance. Please define Temperance here for Taurus in the read. What about knowing that things can and will eventually change? So it's going to be a C, please, upon Temperance within this read. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Did it change particularly your financial standing or your circumstance? Absolutely. And did having to leave that or accept that it really didn't pan out the way that it could have kind of mess with your internal drive and safety, also yes. And I'm saying that because Pentacles, Earth, that's your home element. Yeah, if we have nothing else right now, we have chance and opportunity. And so the part of you of that past having to say, yeah, so what if it's not exactly what I wanted or how I originally envisioned? It will get better, but I gotta believe that it happens that way first. Next, let's look at the High Priestess, Queen of Wands. And so trusting your internal voice and saying, what's going on here? What's worthy of finding? That I find to be very interesting, because you're also internally, even emotionally, challenging your own perspective in ways that you weren't originally comfortable with doing. So hats off. Next to the World, Two of Swords. And so the notion of confusion, of indecision, no, it falls to the wayside. It's not going to do me any good. It doesn't mean I don't, sometimes look back and want for different, but I also accept the reality of where I am right now. Here for a reason, staying for a reason. To the Emperor over here, Nine of Pentacles. My choice is to invest properly into me. Very blunt, very simple. Let's look at Temperance. Devil, the card of Capricorn. And it is good to pull the power card of the season. This is being recorded during Capricorn season. Temperance here being, I could let this eat all my energy. I could let it basically ruin everything for me and still focus on it and be none the better and none the wiser. Or I could say that is a tangible reality that still sits in my heart about what I wish could have happened over here. And I got life to do. These two things can't exist, coinciding, Taurus. They can't, I promise you. When we're saying that things heal with time, because the Devil, card of Capricorn, gets one of the worst raps in the deck for a very valid reason, because it's honest about the things that we're not honest with ourselves about, right? We definitely wanted this to pan out. I get that. We're still seeing elements of it towards the future, right? But we also have to sit with the reality that I'm actively creating a much better life, a much more opportunistic, much better everything right now, here and now for it. So me looking back and constantly wishing that it was different, it's a nice gesture, but it's not doing me any good, right? So in a crossing pattern of our autonomy and our freedom, the Nine of Pentacles, the notion of self-sabotage and a war within, the Five of Swords, crossing each other. It's not a nice conversation because, again, I think that we put so much hope and drive into what didn't pan out that we aren't able to notice the little things that we not only A, should be grateful for, but B, that we're flourishing in, right? I don't want all the joy to be taken away from you simply because something we dedicated ourselves so long to didn't pan out the ways that we thought it should, okay? And lastly, resolution, reveal cards of resolution for Taurus in this read. What is held in space of resolution for Taurus's career read today? Eight of Cups, yeah. Right now, still having to accept the reality that whatever this was, you had to part ways with it. You're making the active choice to say, I know that I'm still focused on it, and simultaneously, I ain't getting nowhere. Me focusing on it, I need to distance, I need to separate from the dreams I wish to accomplish for whatever this was, and live in the goodness of the now. Two of Cups. Here in a career read, it doesn't necessarily mean I didn't necessarily see signs of dating a coworker. It more so has to deal with the things that are right for me will find me, right? So if I can focus on that and the abundance I have to share within, right? Two cups comes from two aces of cups, two cups that are overflowing. Here in a career read, that means yourself and your career path, your job. They give mutually to each other. I'll find the right things now if I can just accept that maybe this wasn't meant to be all that I chalked it up to be. What of the goodness of the now? Underneath it all, Strength, the card of Leo. Find the power and perseverance within the self to move forward and move on properly. Here's what I got for you in your read today, Taurus. I'm tripping over my words. We're getting closer and closer to the full moon. For where it's at and what it's worth. Yeah. Something that we had high hopes for, that we held on to, that we wish would have gone perfectly, well, certainly did not. I get that. And it disappointed our financial expectation. It disappointed, I thought this job or this role or, this opportunity was a lot more than it could have been. And having to sit with the reality of, at first I felt locked out and now I built for myself, right? That energy over here. Where you are right now, you're at a crossroads. We're asking, hey, if I can trust that maybe, just maybe, the universe is pushing me in the right direction of trying to be more collaborative, more open, to open up my own opportunities, not just hoping that this past thing would have worked out. Yeah, it'll still eat at me. But I'll also find my fulfillment when I can enjoy the goodness of the now. What about here and now? My freedom versus what I thought freedom would be. That's what we have. So that's what I got for you in your read today, Taurus. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, is it going to be tough for a bit? Absolutely. But if we can focus on the goodness of the now, we can create even a better tomorrow. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.